the final division strategy is gonna be the standard algorithm, which is not actually a 5th grade standard, but I do like to teach it because it is something that parents are a lot more familiar with. So we are going to learn how to do the standard algorithm. We're going to use the same problem. Our divisor is going to be 7,368 divided by 13. So we set up a problem that kind of looks similar to our partial products, except it doesn't have a big long tail, so it's not like a lucky 7. And we place our dividend on the inside, and we place our divisor on the outside. Then we find our multiples. 13, 26, 39, 52, 65, 78, 91, 104, 117. We find the multiples so that it's easier and it makes our work a lot smoother. If we don't do this, it takes a long time and you have work everywhere where you're trying to like guess how many times 13 can go into 79 or 73. So if you just have this ready, it's easier for you to access. So that's why we do it. We figure it out right at the very beginning. The very first thing we do is we look, just like we did with our partial products, just like we did with our box strategy, and we think how many times can 13 go into 7? And it can't because 13 is bigger. So we put a 0 and we go 0 times 13 equals 0. Then we subtract and we go 7 minus 0 is 7. Then we drop down our 3. Just like in the box strategy, we moved our 7 over. Just like in the lucky 7, it didn't go in here, so we went all the way over here. Then we think how many times can 13 go into 73? It can go in 5 times, so we put the 5 right over the 3. We're making sure that we're lining everything up. We go 5 times 13 equals 65. 3 minus 5, we cannot do it, so we have to regroup and borrow. We take a group of 10 from the 7, and we add 10 to 3, which is 13. Then we go 13 minus 5 equals 8. We know that this is good and we can continue because 8 is smaller than 13. If we had 24 down here, we didn't take enough out, which means we have to go back to this step right here. But we know that this is good because 6 minus 6 is 0. So we drop down our 6 and we go 13 goes into 86 how many times? We look over here and it goes in 6 times. So we put the 6 right above the 6, above the tens place. We go 6 times 13 equals 78. Then we subtract. 6 minus 8, we cannot do it. We have to regroup and borrow. We take a group of 10. We go 10 plus 6 is 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. 7 minus 7 is 0. This is a good remainder. So we're going to drop down our other 8. We look and we think how many times can 13 go into 88? It can go in 6 times. So we put the 6 right over the place value that we just dropped that we're now using. 13 times 6 equals 78. Then we go 8 minus 8 equals 0. 7 minus 8 equals 1. This is a good remainder because it is less than 13. So 10 becomes our remainder. We can also show our remainder. This is something that I have taught. We can also show our remainder like a fraction. So 10, we made 13 groups that had 566 pieces in them. No, we made 566 groups with 13 pieces in it. And so what that means is that we have 10 pieces left over, so we didn't make a whole group. We can go 10 over 13. So our answer can actually look like 566 with 10 over 13, not making another whole, which would make this 567. So that is how you do the standard algorithm.